Let's go to the calls.
You called. Presented by Playground.
You Called is brought to you by Playground, your premier gaming destination located over the Mercier Bridge, only minutes from downtown Montreal. And let's get to the calls. Where are we going exactly? It doesn't matter. Hello, who's this? Is this Peter in Laval? Peter.
Yes, Tony, how are you, sir?
Very good, Peter. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good, very good. Where exactly in Laval are you, Peter?
Laval, Promenade des Îles.
Promenade des Îles.
Yeah, Chamonix area.
Oh, that's Chamonix. Yeah. Where my buddy Salikas lives. Chamonix.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see him every now and then, or what?
No. I haven't seen him too often. I'm busy with my restaurant.
Oh, you have a restaurant.
Woman, Odeli Pete in Terrebonne.
Wow. A Greek gentleman who owns a pizzeria. I've never heard of this before in my life.
Not a pizzeria, a delicatessen.
Oh, a delicatessen. Oh, well, fantastic. Yeah. Serve smoked meat?
Smoked meat.
And he smoked meat?
Smoked meat. That's their specialty.
Oh, really, eh? Fantastic. I'm going to drop by and come see you one day. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
My mind. The Habs didn't play that bad of a game. I think Fleury just is a solid veteran goaltender. He knows how to play the puck behind the net. He's very cool, calm, and collective.
He especially kept them in the game in period number 1. And when they came out of that first period scoreless, that's exactly what you want from a goaltender. What a career Marc-Andre Fleury's had, eh? It's unbelievable.
Oh, my God. He looks like a 28-year-old out there. 28-year-old. He up and down, around. He's everywhere.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. So, what did you think of Slafkovsky getting hit there in the with a minute 20 left to go in regulation?
He's got to be a little bit more alert. He's got to play with a little bit more of an edge and more alertness. He has to see his surroundings. He's got
to take those smelling salts before the game, right?
Yeah, he's got to have a little pep. And sometimes I find that he's a little bit like Peter Mahovlich. You remember sometimes when he was a great hockey player, Peter Mahovlich?
Yes, of course. Yes, the brother of the Big M, of course. Peter and Frank Mahovlich.
Mahovlich, yes.
Yeah.
I got to watch him the tail end of his career, but I followed him before to see. He would get a little bit lazy, you know? That's the way I find.
What would you say if Juraj Slafkovsky ends up being the next Big M, the next Frank Mahovlich? What would you say? Would you be happy with that?
I would be very happy, yes.
Okay.
Very happy. But that's hard to do, eh?
Yeah, no, it's hard to do. There's no doubt about it. You're right about that. There's only one Big M. Thanks so much. I wanted the Habs to pick him up, but a great radio, TV personality did not have the vision. I don't know exactly what he's talking about. Hold on a second. What's Voodoo talking about here? What is Voodoo? I wanted the Habs to pick him up, but a great radio / TV personality did not have the vision. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Peter Mahovlich.
No, I have no idea what he's talking about. I'm taking messages right now. That's a good comparable, Tony, says Bobby. Bobby Design says it's good comparable. Oh, Fleury. Voodoo is talking about Marc-Andre Fleury. He wanted to pick him up. Yeah, well, listen to me. I would not have picked up Marc-Andre Fleury because the Canadiens are not going to win the Stanley Cup with Marc-Andre Fleury, and Marc-Andre Fleury would have only got in the way of the Montreal Canadiens rebuild. I want the rebuild. If I want a rebuild, if I say on Twitter, I want rebuild. On Instagram, I want rebuild. On Facebook, I want rebuild. On the radio, I want rebuild. On podcast, I want rebuild. On TV, I want rebuild. If I say all of that, and then I say, go out and get Marc-Andre Fleury, I'm an idiot. I'm not an idiot.
No. Don't get Fleury. No.
No.
Gallagher and Anderson to Calgary.
You want to get Gallagher and Anderson to Calgary. You realize that with the salary cap it's pretty hard to not only move a $6.5 million player, but then you want to move a $5.5 million player. And then you want to take those two players that total $12 million who have another 5 years left on their respective contracts, and you want to trade them to the same team.
I know it's wishful.
No, but Peter, it's not PlayStation here. Like there's a salary cap now, my friend.
But I think Anderson would make a good mix with Calgary.
Yeah, everyone thinks that Anderson's going to make a good mix until they have him and they realize that, he doesn't play every game. Thanks for taking the time. You sound like a good guy to me. I'm going to come visit you one day at your delicatessen in Terrebonne. I'm going to come visit you, and I'm going to say, I want to speak to the owner, Peter in Laval. You're going to raise your hand. You're going to say, that's me. And you'll know right away that I'm Marinaro. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. I know you from afar.
You know me from afar. No kidding, because I'm one of the best-looking guys in the city. We are stupid on a rebuilding year. We'll end up with the 15th pick. This coming in from Andy. Kev says losing is for losers. Yeah, not having a plan is for losers too. The dude thinks he's Mark Bergevin, says Audio Murphy. Eric Lavallee says keep them for the playoff run in 2 years. We need veterans. Oh, yeah, I'm sure Gallagher's going to have a lot of legs in 2 years from now. Others coming in. Peter the Cobra de Terrebonne. Voodoo says Tony's not always right, but he is the best, hands down. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not always right. You're right about that. But you know what? I'm not short of opinions. It's better than going on the air and just saying nothing for fear of actually being wrong with your opinion or a prediction not coming through. Pierre is in Arizona. This guy's in the desert. And he wants to talk to me right now on the Sick Podcast. Pierre, what's going on?
Yeah, hi, Tony. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. So,
are you a former Montrealer?
About Montreal, I don't think that they're going to play for 500. I really think they're going to tank. The reason why?
Okay.
We only have one good scoring line. We only have two good players on that line.
Okay.
We haven't been able to find a third player that fits with those two players.
That's true. It's been a revolving door. Yeah, you're right about that. Okay, continue.
Yeah, we need a player that basically is physical, is good on the boards, and can feed the puck, which we don't have. And that's, with one line, we're not going to go very far, for one. But it's to be expected. We're rebuilding right now. So hopefully we can get rid of some of the players. Like you said, I agree, Dadonov and all that, we're not going to get much for them. So either they're going to put them on waivers or get low picks for them.
Would you even try? Would you even try Drouin on the first line?
Well, we haven't personally. I don't think we've given him much of a chance.
Well, what do you mean? He's been here for
first line. On the first line.
Well, I understand, but he's been here for 5 years.
Bottom lines, but he's
Pierre.
still not a player that's good on the boards and that's physical to dig the pucks and feed it.
Pierre.
Yeah,
I understand. He's been here for 5 years now. Like, this is the 6th year that he's been here. Like, I think he's had his chances.
Yeah, but not on the first line. But he's not a good fit for that first line, anyways.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think that he'd be a good fit for that.
Put it this way. If Slavkovsky was 4 years into the league and he was bigger and he was stronger and he had more experience, he would be the perfect fit. But right now, he's just not at that stage. We're going to have to wait a little bit. Pierre, are you a former Montrealer living in Arizona or?
I am. Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. So when did you move out there? You moved out there?
I'm sorry?
Did you move out there?
I did. I've been here for 20 years, but I go back to Montreal twice a year. My mother actually lived in Ville-la-Salle.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah. Le Cavalier.
On Le Cavalier?
Gagnon Street.
On Gagnon Street. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right in the back of the IGA.
Okay. Yeah. I know exactly where I know exactly where it is. Yeah. That would be that would be LaSalle's beachside. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm on Mountainside. That would be on beachside. So you know what?
Okay.
Before I go and I get to another call, how's life treating you in Arizona?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm happy that I can listen to you, so it gives me a connection with Montreal still.
I'm happy to hear that. Thank you.
I still watch the Montreal Canadiens on ESPN, but I'm limited on the games.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can get Montreal Canadian games out here. I do see them once in a while when they come to Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm far from Glendale, though, where they used to play, but I'm probably about 30 minutes from Tempe. But with 5,000 seats, it's a little hard.
Yeah, your house is probably bigger than that arena.
They're a
Hey,
lot pricier
Pierre.
than they used to be also.
Pierre, great talking to you, man, and thank you. I'm glad that the podcast is available for people like you who are former Montrealers who moved away and want still a connection to their city and or their hockey team. You have it here, and hopefully you will have it for a very, very long time. I can tell you that is definitely our intention. All right, tell your friends about the podcast. It's pretty sick. Go ahead.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It. Enjoy
All
your
right.
show.
Thank you very much. My God, is that like the most polite guy I've ever talked to in my life or what? Pierre in Arizona. We'll get to more of your calls at 1-888-585-SICK. 1-888-585-7425. It's a Sick Podcast. I'm Marinaro. Jeffrey is in Toronto. Jeffrey, what's going on?
Tony, how you doing?
Jeffrey, good. How are you?
I'm good. Is this a joke?
No, well, I mean, you tell me.
This is a joke, buddy. Montreal absolutely sucks. Okay?
Well, I mean, they did for, the second period tonight for sure.
But I don't even want to talk about Montreal anymore.
No, the second period was pietà compassione, voglio. I mean, you don't want to talk about Montreal anymore. And all of a sudden, you're dictating what we're going to... What do you want to talk about exactly, Jeffrey?
The second period of my life, they sucked. Ever since I've had kids, my kids are crying. I had two kids crying right now because of that loss.
That's great. That's great. Tonight on the Sick Podcast, we got somebody who lives in Toronto that's calling us in Montreal to tell us that our hockey team sucks. This is great. It doesn't get worse than this.
Buddy, I think the Toronto Raptors right now can probably put on a better performance. They can probably beat the Montreal Canadiens. I think Siakam can get more goals on Allen than...
Stop.
No, I'm being serious.
Stop exaggerating. Stop exaggerating.
Listen, let me give a shout out. Let me give a shout out to my boy Japan.
Are you connected to the Raptors by... Hold on a second. Hold on.
Listen, you never let anybody talk on this show.
Okay, go ahead.
You don't let anybody talk. You know what I mean? Let me talk for once, Tony.
Go ahead.
All right. I want to talk to you. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. But if this is the best that you're going to bring, you asked me to make you talk. I make you talk, and you said, Talk. Let's go. You want to bring it? You want to go? You want to go on the Sick Podcast? Let's go. You want to play? Let's play.
What are we playing?
Listen, you want to
fix that setup of yours.
No. I don't have to say. You don't even know how to talk, and you're asking me to fix my setup. My setup is good. You called here. You wanted to be the show tonight. You wanted to be the showstopper. You wanted to go up against me. You have absolutely no chance going up against Tony Marinaro. Stay in Toronto. Live in Toronto. We don't want you on the podcast. I'm suspending you for 1 month. And Yellow suspend him for 1 month immediately. I want him to stay in Toronto with Dubas and Sheldon Keefe and Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. Excuses. Toronto, this, that. Shut him down on Yellow. Take him off right now. Let's get to another caller. This guy is gone. Gonzo. Bye-bye. Salute. Arrivederci. Stay in Toronto. The best thing about Toronto is the highway back to Montreal. You know it, and I know it. Let's get rid of this guy. Where are we going here? Jeffrey in Toronto. Track down his IP address. If he calls back under another name or whatever, I don't want it. Let's put in a voice recognition system that will recognize his voice the next time he calls. This guy, you know what? 1 month from now is actually at the end of November. Suspend him for the rest of 2022. In 2023, because we're going to get off to a brand new, fresh start, I might give him another chance. I might suspend him 2022. That's it, Jeffrey in Toronto. I don't want to hear from this guy. Kevin, wow, Tony, head big tonight. No, I'm just in one of those moods. My head's not bigger tonight than it was yesterday. As a matter of fact, my head has been the same size for many, many, many years. Since I became an adult, pretty much. I think that's when it stopped growing. Tony is tough but fair. I am. Thank you. Watch the blood pressure, Tony. This coming in from Hunter. Thank you. Mr. Major says good riddance. Yes. Pierre Luc says preach, Tony. Track down his IP address. He liked that one. That was Bobby Design. Drop the hammer, says the boss master. We did. Fishing thought it was hilarious. Andy says the Leafs are suspended for the rest of the season. You imagine the guy comes on to tell us how bad the Canadians are, and he can't speak. He calls in a post-game show, and he doesn't know what to say. And he's mumbling. I mean, his ability to try and put 2 or 3 sentences together is worse than the Maple Leafs trying to put together 2 or 3 good periods. It's pretty similar. It's that bad. Roy is in Bangkok. Roy.
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. Good morning. But
how are you?
I'm good, but it's
a lovely sunny day here in Bangkok.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, where I am, it's not morning yet. It's 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, but in Bangkok right now, it is 10:29 a.m. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's going on in Thailand? What's going on there?
Oh, it's what they call the cool season. It's about 30 every day.
Okay. So
and,
what brings you there?
After I finish with you, I'm going out to play golf.
Who's better than you? What brings you there? What brings you to Bangkok? What brings you to Bangkok?
With respect to Druin or Hoffman,
but why is it every time I ask questions, nobody answers me? What brings you to Bangkok?
Send them to Laval.
What brings you to Bangkok?
Oh, I came here, 35 years ago for work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm retired now, but I was a petroleum engineer, and I worked pretty much all over the world. And I based myself here in Bangkok about 1975.
Wow. Is it as nice as I hear it is? The pictures are stunning.
Oh, it's pretty nice. And the nicest thing is here that the people don't hate anybody. And as somebody who's worked all over the world, there's lots of countries where they hate you.
Oh, really, eh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So are you you get to watch all the Canadians games from where you are?
I do, actually, through the NHL.com subscription.
Yeah.
And former Montrealer, grew up in the West Island, so...
Mm-hmm. What did you think?
Here we are.
What did you think?
I think tonight?
No, last month's game. What did you think of last month's game?
Last month?
Yeah. No, I said, what did you think? And you said about tonight? I said, no, last month.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. No. So what did you think of the opening game of the season, the Canadians and the Toronto Maple Leafs? That's what we're talking about, or?
A dream come true, Tony. Dream come true.
Roy, who's better than you? Nobody. You have the beach in Bangkok. You've been there. You've been retired, whatever, enjoying life. You're going to play golf tomorrow. Who's better than you? Nobody.
Well, I listen to your podcast every night.
Yeah.
And, sorry.
Your laugh is outstanding, by the way. It's like the greatest laugh I think I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, okay, great.
We'll talk to you soon.
Anyways,
Buddy. Enjoy the beach, okay?
ci vediamo, Tony.
Hey, ci vediamo. Yes, yes. I'll see you later. Yes, my buddy Chesko is in Thailand. Maybe I can hook you guys up together. There you have it. Roy in Bangkok. So we had Peter in Laval, Pierre in Arizona, Jeffrey in Toronto, Roy in Bangkok. 4 callers, 4 very special callers, I have to tell you. We had the one guy that owned the delicatessen in Terrebonne. We had the other guy who can't watch every game, and he's in Arizona, and he's got the connection of the podcast back home. We have another guy who's trying to smack talk us from Toronto when just everything is going wrong there. And then we got Roy in Bangkok who wanted to tell us that he's going to be playing golf tomorrow. Mark is on Long Island. Mark, what's going on?
Tony Marinaro, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you?
My God, you're the Mark that I used to talk to when I used to work at another place once upon a time. I think the last time I talked to you was probably back in the month of April or something.
Probably was. Yes,
yeah.
This is me, Tony. We missed you. Long time no speak. How are you?
I'm doing extremely well. Thank you very much. I missed the listeners too, and that's about it.
All right, and Matthew O'Hain you probably missed because you brought him back. So
I didn't really bring him back, but yeah, he's back.
He's back.
Yeah.
All right, we got most of the band. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, everybody wants
the big guns.
Everyone wants to work for this podcast. If I would divulge the text messages that have come in the last 6 or 7 months from people that want to work for this podcast, it's there's a lot of interesting names there.
Tony,
yeah.
I called this number because I thought that's how you apply to work.
And a lot of non-interesting, and a lot of non-interesting names. That's why they're not here. Yeah, you were saying?
I said I called this number thinking that I was the number to apply to work for the podcast, and then they're like, "You're on the air."
Well, you're living in Long Island. Would you like to host a sick podcast out of Long Island? You want to talk about the Islanders or what?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Only Habs.
Only Habs, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's on your mind? Let's go here.
First of all, I haven't spoken to you all season, but some of these games are hockey that's fun.
Yeah.
This team is fun again.
Yeah.
And no matter what happens, there's always a storyline because you either got RB Jack Eye,
yeah,
you got Cole Caulfield, you got Nick Suzuki, you got Kirby Doc. Now you've got the stuff going on with that Donov, which is always this team's always exciting.
That Donov, you call him. Okay, but never mind who the roster is. We all know who's on the team. What did you think of the game tonight? I asked him to tell me what's on his mind, and he's going through the entire roster.
Tony, you're the same old. We love it. But what I think about this game, I think they just got outplayed, and a lot of the shortcomings of talent show. They always have a rough time against the Wild. I don't know what it is, but I think that their young D just struggles against pure superstars. They're just too young, and they can't hold that blue line strong enough. Their goaltending, Allen, has been good, but you always need D in front of you.
By the way, not Caden Gooley's best game tonight. It's okay. Love him. You're not going to play 82 good games a year. I thought there was some decision-making tonight that was probably not the best.
Especially as a rookie, but this is part of the growth,
Yeah.
Listen, if we'll take this year. If next year, if they learn from it and they build up on it, we'll take this year, Anything that's better than last year, we can handle.
Yeah.
As Montreal fans, as long as they can't use Jeff Gorton and how about the Rangers? The fact that they're doing good, and my brother's a Ranger fan, they hate them. But you look at the moves and you see what Jeff Gorton did.
Wow, the Rangers are a top. They're a top 8 or 9 team in the National Hockey League right now. And so, if you're wondering what the Montreal Canadiens are going to look like a couple of years from now, and that's the plan. Having said that, the Rangers got a little bit lucky because Adam Fox forced he wanted to go to the Rangers and he went there, and Panarin signed as an unrestricted free agent. He wanted to go to the Rangers, and I don't know if the Montreal Canadiens are going to be that lucky, but this is the template. And Kirby Doc,
you still got Keon.
And Kirby Doc, Keandre Miller, he's fantastic, and so is Schneider. and the list goes on and on. But Kirby Dach, they were hoping that he was going to be their Mika Zibanejad that Jeff Gordon picked up. And now it's 2 games. He's on the wing. I don't understand how you have a Sean Monahan whose contract is up at the end of the year, who probably will be traded at the deadline. And you have a Kirby Dach who you went to trade for, ended up giving up Romanov in a trade to the Islanders to get a couple of picks to trade them for Dach. And instead of investing in him at the center position, they put him on the wing for 2 games. I'm not going to question Marty St. Louis, but I'm going to question Marty St. Louis.
Tony, I didn't think about that, and that's a very valid point. I think they're just trying to find someone there, but I don't know why they don't put Anderson back there. Anderson, we've seen his work. Yeah, there are off nights, but a game like tonight, Anderson was flying out there doing, maybe he didn't score, but he was running around, and this is when Anderson works the best with Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki. You could shuffle the deck in the middle of a game. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't mess things up. These guys practice with each other all the time.
Fisherman wants to know how you ended up being an Islander fan. Pardon me, an Islander fan. How you ended up being a Canadiens fan living in Long Island.
So here, you want the abbreviated version or the long version?
No. I want the version. No. I
short anyway.
Hold on a second. No. I want the long. The long version lasts how long exactly?
Let's say the short version's 5 seconds. The long one's maybe a minute max.
Oh, a minute. Okay, so for you, long is going 1 minute.
Tony, because I'm one of your callers, and the old place, a long conversation with you was 30 seconds. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the old place it was 30 seconds because we had to pay 20-minute commercials for every 30 seconds we talked.
Well, now we got the sick podcast, and there's no other way around it. But let's
Now we talk. Now we do. I don't have to break every 15, 16 minutes so that we can go to 7 minutes of commercial, come back and go back after 15 minutes and play another 8 minutes of commercials and this and that. Now, you know what? I don't have a boss. Even though in Yellow owns the thing, I just do what I want to do. That's it. That's all. This is my show. I don't have to listen to anybody tell me, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that.
All right. So here's the story.
Yeah.
In 2014,
somebody told me not to sing on the air once. So you know what I did?
I told you not.
You know what I did?
Sing on that air. Tony.
You know what I did? I sung on the air, and I brought home a 14% market share.
Tony, there's no other song that sings better with you than the Blue La Rouge. That's it.
You know who knows the business better than anybody I know? Who knows how to make something out of nothing and bring home the ratings? Me. If somebody tells me don't sing, you know what I'm going to do? I'm singing.
Exactly.
I want to sing, I sing.
There you go.
Senti nell'aria c'è già la nostra canzone d'amore che va come un pensiero che sa di felicità. Senti nell'aria. Yeah. Hey, Mark, I gotta go. You take it easy. Call again.
All right, well, you never get the story on how I was a Canadian fan.
Oh, yeah. Give me your story, the short version, though.
All right. My dad is from Montreal, grew up in Montreal, moved out here to the East Coast over here, and my brother was a Ranger fan. I started becoming a Ranger fan, and then we were playing NHL 09, and my father said, I knew nothing about hockey, really, but I was a Ranger fan because I was a Ranger fan, and my father was playing hockey, and he said, I'm picking the Canadiens because they have the best goaltender, Carey Price. And I was hook, line, and sinker on Carey Price, and the rest is history. And now I'm a Canadian fan. I get those in Tony Marinaro. I am as happy as a lark.
Good for you. So you're the president.
Tony, Blue La Rouge.
Yeah, Blue La Rouge. Bleu, Blanc, Rouge, Blue La Rouge. And Mosey too now. Blue La Rouge and Mosey too. Listen to me.
Shut up. I'm from New York. I say coffee and water.
Yeah, coffee. Go get me some coffee. Hey, listen.
Exactly.
Who's got better bagels, Montreal or New York?
Never had a Montreal bagel, and you asked me this on a different planet.
Yeah, we got to get you to Montreal so you can have a Montreal bagel.
I've been to Montreal, but I haven't had a bagel. But Tony, when I'm in Montreal, I'll try that bagel and I will let you know how it was.
The next time you're in Montreal, you look me up. You call me. You call Marinaro to show you the city. You got it? I'll talk to you soon.
Will do. When you're in Long Island, do the same, Tony.
I go to Long Island all the time. I got my buddy who lives there in Farmingdale, New York, Victorio, who's a childhood friend of my father's. They grew up in the same
And you
town,
go to
the
that
same
bakery,
village.
you
They
go
live,
to the bakery.
they live next door to each other. Yeah, hold on a second. And I went to the bakery. Is it Villa Bate or something? Which one is it?
I don't know, but you've told me this many times, and you go to the bakery, and I was never there, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Hold on a
Something
second.
really good.
What is that bakery in Long Island now? Okay, now I'm gonna I'm gonna lose sleep over this now. Hold on a second. Bakery. I'm trying to look something up here. Bakery in Brooklyn. You know what? I think it's that one. I think it's the one that I just told you. It is.
Yes.
Villa Bate.
Yep. It's in Brooklyn. Yep. Sounds familiar.
Yeah. It's in Brooklyn. It's on 18th Avenue.
And they have something really good that you told me I got to go to try it, but I never.
Yeah. It's a very good bakery. Mark will talk to you soon. You'll be well. Mark in Long Island.
Right.
Say all right. His father was a big fan of Carey Price, so they were, he ended up cheering for the Canadians. It's all right. Agnello, bring up some questions here. By the way, my throat is burning. This is not good. I hope this is not what I think it is, which I've never had before, by the way. Fishing says, are the rookies getting tired? Getting tired after 10 games? I would hope not. Roger is in Northern Ontario. Roger, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I think you're going to be, if this is a great call, I think you will be our last call of the night.
Well, I'm hoping it's going to be a great call.
I hope so too. But I think it's safe to say that there's a very good chance that you're going to be the best call of the night.
Well, I think you're right.
Yeah. One guy's talking about is Delhi. The other guy's talking about the fact that he can't watch too many games because he's in Arizona. The other guy's calling from Toronto to say that the Canadians suck, and he's a Leafs fan. The other guy is calling from the beach to tell us that he's going to play golf tomorrow. And Mark from Long Island, instead of telling us bleu, blanc, rouge, is telling us bleu, la rouge. I have a feeling that you're going to be the best call of the night, my man.
Well, I'm going to try.
Okay.
First of all,
whenever you're ready.
Pardon?
Whenever you're ready. This is your show.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm happy to be on your show. Like many others, can't believe it, but here we go.
Thank you.
I think Doc played a very good game tonight with Suzuki and Caulfield. He looked pretty good. Fed them quite a few passes, and they seemed to gel a little bit. Second, I totally agree with you on the rebuild. So the loss was okay in my books because we need more losses than we have wins. Secondly, the draft that's coming up. The Habs have 2 picks. Am I correct?
Well, I think you made 4 points, and now you're going secondly. Okay, go ahead. Yes?
Okay, so then I think the Habs are going to unload quite a bit at the deadline.
Who are they going to unload?
Well, I could see them for sure. Drouin's going to go. And I don't know.
Yeah, they're lining up to take these guys. Everybody's lining up. I think the players that you want to trade with, there might be a spot for them on the River Rats of Parc Ouellet, de Cobra de Parc Ouellet de Villassal.
You might even see a guy like.
No, all kidding aside, it's a tough situation. With all due respect, it's a tough situation because the guys that are probably not bringing it as often or not bringing it all that much, and their contracts are up at the end of the year, they don't have very much value right now, if any. Like we just talked about the fact that you can put them on waivers and they won't get picked up. So it's a real. I thought it would be an easy situation that Kent Hughes would be in because you just have to rebuild this thing, but it's not all easy. But at the same time, you can still pull it off. And what's going to happen is in an ideal situation, these contracts that you're not going to bring back, these players, in an ideal situation, they would have value so you can get assets. This is not an ideal situation. Unfortunately, they don't have much value. So you're just going to let them go, probably end up getting absolutely nothing for them. But the good news is that the money will be off the books at the end of the year, and then you're going to end up making some cap space for yourself. That's the good news.
Exactly. How about Armia?
I thought Armia was good tonight, to be honest. I thought he was good. He took a quick wrist shot in period number 1 that almost had eyes. I thought he was involved. I thought he went to the net. He shot the puck a ton tonight. I don't have a problem with Armia. I thought he was good tonight. You're asking me if I would trade him? Right now, he's not among one of the first players that I would trade on this team. But then again, trading the other guys is easy. There's no value there.
He's on his final year, isn't he?
Army, I believe he is not on the final year, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to have my buddy Sammy Cavallaro and Agnello Cavallaro at Master Control look up how many years Yoel Armia has left on his contract. And just like that, I can tell you that he's got 2 more years left on his deal. He's in year 2 of a 4-year deal at $3.4 million per year on the cap.
That's going to be hard to move.
That's going to be, it's very hard to move. Very hard to move.
What do you think about, say, a guy like Savard or Edmondson being moved?
I keep Edmondson because I think he can insulate a guy like Jacky. I don't want Jacky to be the only one who can pretty much defend his teammates on this team, and there are others, but I think he'd really need Joel Edmondson. Edmondson's got 2 years left on his deal, so you know what? If you don't bring Edmondson back, I would trade Joel Edmondson in 2024 at the deadline. Savard, same thing.
So,
I'm keeping Savard and Edmondson for this year for sure. I'm keeping both of them.
Make room.
Eh?
What are you going to do to make room for a guy like, we'll say, Barron or...
well, Barron will be here next year. Barron's not going to be here this year. Barron's not ready for the National Hockey League just yet. Next year. Well, I said I'll keep Savard and Edmondson this year, and next year we'll see. And I understand what you're saying. You're saying, well, yeah, but if you're going to make room for Barron, you got to trade those guys. Don't forget, you can always trade them at the draft.
Because you
can always trade them at the draft.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking at the draft or near trade deadline, because you got to figure that these guys like, was it Hudson? Hudson.
Lane Hudson is really good.
Mayu, and there's going to be, to me, there's going to be at least 2 more rookies coming in next year.
Lane Hudson's not going to be on this team next year.
Well, not him.
Okay.
But you might see a Mayu on the team next year, or you might see a Barron.
Yeah. Mayu next year, I doubt it too. Barron should be on the team next year, but we'll see what happens. Thanks so much. Even though I said this was going to be the last call, I've been told that I have to take one more call. All right. So one more call. Where am I going, Sammy? Sammy told me to take one more call. Sammy, was that it, or is there another one? Hello.
Hello. Hey, Tony.
Is it me you're looking for?
Tony, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, are you a fan of Lionel Richie or what? Because when I started singing, it looked like you interrupted me right away. You want no part of that?
No. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, okay.
No, again, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
And how are you? Are you okay?
I'm good. Why are you like the most polite person in the world here? Like, I think you asked me how I'm doing like 5 times. I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking me. How are you doing, John?
No, sometimes I get cut off.
No, don't worry about it. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. How are you?
Listen, I'm good. Thank you.
Very good.
You
doing okay?
I think it echoes a few times.
It's the echo. You're right. This is why I keep saying hi, and no one says anything for like 20 seconds. I told Agnello, day one, get rid of this echo. Yeah. I fixed it. Whatever. John, tell me, what's on your mind, my man? Tell me.
Yeah, it's doing it again. Anyway, Tony, I have
Yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
Okay, my question is this.
Yeah.
The last game, they beat St. Louis,
Yeah.
and they played in the lineup. They had Pizzetta
Yeah.
and they had Hoffman. And the power play actually clicked in.
Yeah.
Now, tonight, he took out Hoffman, took out Pizzetta,
Yeah.
and he put in Drouin, he put in, I
Pillock.
believe it was,
Pillock.
yes. How do you feel? What's your opinion on Martin Saint-Louis' line change?
Well, my father, who started watching this game before me,
Yeah.
always used to tell me that the great Scotty Bowman didn't change a winning lineup. The great Scotty Bowman never changed a winning goalie. And so with my father's, advice that he gave that you don't change he shouldn't have changed the winning lineup. But at the same time, he probably thought he needed to insert some energy in his lineup. And you have to understand, he's got 3 extra forwards. You can't just sit them out and not bring them in. So he's going to rotate them every now and then. But, another thing you got to realize is that if his line changes don't lead to a victory, it's not the end of the world. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. He knows that. Hughes knows that. Gordon knows that. The problem that I have is that I think they're going to be stuck in no man's land here.
No, you're
That's
right.
the problem. And that bothers me.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the lineup changes? Because it sounds like
No,
you wouldn't have made these line changes.
I was a little disappointed. Because I figured if something works, why change what works?
Yeah, no, I hear you. If something works, why change what works? You're right. If something works, why change what works? But, maybe they don't want it to work all the time. I'm Marinaro, and that clip you just watched is from our most recent episode of the Sick Podcast. Once again, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free, and you'll be notified when we go live. I'm Marinaro. Tell your friends about it. This podcast, like me, is pretty sick.